Good afternoon, I'm Vashon Brown with the Midday News. A special welcome if you're watching on One Spot Media, onespotmedia.com. Ahead of this afternoon's opening of the 2018-2019 budget debate, at least one private sector grouping is throwing its support behind the government's fiscal policies. Speaking at the recent RJR Gleaner Group News Forum, President of the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, JCC, Larry Watson, declared that things are looking up in the economy, as TVJ's Janella Precis reports.
The country will hear in a couple of hours how the Andrew Holness-led government will finance the $773.6 billion budget during this fiscal year. Finance Minister Audley Shaw, as a precursor to his presentation, recently revealed that there will be no new taxes. Instead, the government will focus on implementing non-tax initiatives to ensure that importers in particular pay their fair share at the wharves. His presentation comes on the heels of the recently released RJR Gleaner Don Anderson polls, which revealed that the country is heading in the wrong direction when it comes to the government's handling of the economy. But President of the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, Larry Watson, disagrees.
If you have a tree, the tree that's a fruit tree that's not blooming, you have to prune the tree and then it will flourish and bloom. Same thing if one is ill, one may go to the hospital and you don't feel good, but knowing down the road you will get better. And I think the process of restructuring our economy and getting it on the right track has hardships for people. And a lot of people want that benefit sooner rather than later. And the discontent that you feel and the negative towards the direction of the economy is that all of the fruits of the labor and the sacrifices that have been made are not being reaped by everybody. And it takes time.
He is, however, of the view that there is a need for growth to be accelerated if everyone is to benefit.
The hindrance is a crime. You know, we had some faults in agriculture that hurt the growth rate, but people want the benefit now. They feel they have sacrificed benefits, and I think that's what you're seeing coming out.
Mr. Watson also pointed to a recent IDB study which showed the link between controlling crime and economic growth.
In 2016, or 2012, I think, a study was done by the IDB, and our murder rate was 39 per 100,000. I think at the 16 we were at 59 or 60. And when we were at 39 per 100,000, the global rate, I think, was 6.3 or 3.8, and Costa Rica was 6 or 8%. And the study shows that if we had a crime rate at the rate of Costa Rica, we'd be growing at over 5% for the last 10 or 15 years.
Janella Precis, TVJ News.
The Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, has outlined how it will respond if the government carries out its plan to pay teachers the first year of the 2017-2019 wage offer. The JTA rejected that offer from the government 5 days ago. In a release on Wednesday, the JTA said it has not signed an agreement with the finance minister,
how we respond to the government giving the teachers that money if it don't.
The association says if the finance ministry goes ahead with the payment, it will view it as tantamount to union busting and a breach of collective bargaining rights. At a special conference last Saturday, the island's teachers voted to reject the government's wage offer. Meanwhile, during a meeting with officials of the Finance Ministry on Wednesday, the Central Executive of the Police Federation reiterated that it will not sign a 4-year wage contract. The COPS also rejected the offer of a 16% increase. The Police Federation submitted a counter-proposal. The Finance Ministry is to review the document and arrange another meeting. The government recently submitted its wage offer, which did not include an increase in allowances for the COPS. Quick action by the police in middle quarters of an armed robber this morning. TVJ News understands that the man held up a 90-year-old woman and her son at their home and demanded money and jewelry. The victim's hands were tied as he ransacked one of the rooms. The robber made off with cash and jewelry. However, one of the victims, after freeing himself, ran out to the road where he saw a police vehicle. He alerted the officers who observed the robber trying to escape. The man was caught and a Glock 9mm pistol taken from him. Police say the weapon was stolen 2 weeks ago in Black River in the parish. 3 men have been charged for the murder of 28-year-old Chinese businessman Teng Fai Cheng of Market Street in Brownstown, St. Anne. 23-year-old merchandiser Randy Mott and the 47-year-old higgler Liebert Piper, both from Philadelphia District in Brownstown, as well as 40-year-old higgler Vivian Campbell of Benin District, also in Brownstown, were charged on Wednesday night. Mr. Cheng was shot dead last Tuesday as he sat in his parked vehicle at his business place in the town. The accused were picked up within 24 hours of the crime. They will appear before the St. Anne Parish Court today. Head of the St. Anne Police, Senior Superintendent Michael Smith, has assured Chinese and local business persons that there will be an increase in police presence in the town. Ground has been broken for a new police station in Port Maria St. Mary. Minister of National Security Robert Montague revealed that the new police station consists of 3 floors, with the original plan changing to accommodate the Era 2 police station headquarters. The project will be funded by the National Housing Trust (NHT) at an estimated cost of $60 million.
The project managers on this building will be the police themselves. So all them people who plan Dr. Wright for come be the done on the site and we take over, think again. There ain't no contractors, so we save the contractors' fee and the contractors' levy. Because it is the police doing the building.
Mr. Montague also added that the government will be investing in new helicopters and new technology for the Jamaica Defence Force.
Fleet of helicopters for the JDF. The helicopters we have in this country should have been given away 10 years ago. Past and useful date, 10 years ago. So when time doctor up hospital call for the helicopter, you have to pray that they reach at home. So we're buying a brand new fleet for the JDF. We are investing in technology. We're going to be implementing what we call a national CCTV integrated system called Jamaica. We have invested into the intelligence network of the country. Without good intelligence, you can't have good police operations. We're going to be investing more and more into technology, vehicle tracking, the QR code patrols, the jam pulse stats, the e-diary, and of course the stay alert.
Residents of Newlands in Portmore St. Catherine mounted fire roadblocks in the community this morning. The blockades, which were at 3 locations along the main road, were unmanned, and residents were initially tight-lipped about the reason for their protest. They eventually told the police why they were upset. Head of operations for the St. Catherine South Division, Superintendent Leighton Gray, says the police have increased their presence in the community in search of wanted men. Superintendent Gray says the residents believe they're being treated unfairly.
This morning is as a result of residents coming out to say that there has been some police heavy-handedness. However, we have stepped up our operation that is in keeping with the JCF 90-day murder shooting reduction plan. And as such, we have been targeting members of the Umbrella gang who are wanted. So, and that has been for the past. From the 22nd of February, we have commenced this type of.
Superintendent Gray had a
Floor and residents to desist from these type of roadblocks. However, if and when they have a problem, let us actually have dialogue with the relevant agencies to have the matter resolved instead of resorting to these type of roadblocks, as these roadblocks are illegal, and as such, person will be arrested or prosecuted.
Superintendent Gray adds that the police intelligence indicated that the leader of the Umbrella Gang, Orain Baldy, who is incarcerated, is the instigator of this morning's protest. He says a gun was seized in the community last week during the pursuit of a wanted man who escaped. Now, Superintendent Gray says the fires have been extinguished and assistance will be sought from the Portmore Municipal Corporation to remove the debris. Moravian minister 64-year-old Rupert Clark is to face the St. Elizabeth Circuit Court today, where he will be sentenced for sexual offences. On November 29 last year, he pleaded guilty to 2 counts of having sexual intercourse with a person under the age of 16 years old. He reportedly decided to make a guilty plea after Justice Martin Gale ruled that the matter be transferred to Kingston for trial. Mr. Clark was taken into custody on December 28, 2016, after he was reportedly seen in a compromising position with a 15-year-old girl in a car along the Austin Main Road in St. Elizabeth. The second count is in relation to the 13-year-old sister of the 15-year-old. A blocked drain caused a traffic pileup on the Mandela Highway in St. Catherine this morning. Superintendent Preston Ray of the Traffic and Highway Division says that officials from the National Works Agency were on the scene and the drain is in the process of being cleared.
The water on the roadway itself, it sort of subsided. Traffic is flowing actually freely, but minimum obstructions really just now. So things are almost back to normal at this particular time.
And we go now to news overseas. A former Russian spy and his daughter, who were the targets of a recent attempted assassination in England, remain in serious condition as the British government face growing suspicions that Moscow may have been involved. More from the CNN.
This is being treated as a major incident involving attempted murder by administration of a nerve agent.
Former Russian spy Sergei Skripal and his daughter, now both critically ill, were deliberately poisoned by a nerve agent, targeted specifically, according to police.
Our role now, of course, is to establish who is behind this and why they carried out this act.
New video shows the former double agent at a shop in Salisbury, England on February 27th. A simple life. Far Russia, where the spy was thrown into a van, later sent to court and then found guilty of treason for selling Russian secrets to the British. The convicted traitor was brought to a tarmac for a spy swap, an exchange of agents between the US and Moscow in 2010. He lived quietly in Salisbury until Sunday. That's when police say he and his daughter were found unconscious on a mall bench. The mystery has prompted urgent questions and careful warnings in Parliament.
Though I am not now pointing fingers, because we cannot, Mr. Speaker, as you'll understand, point fingers, I say to governments around the world that no attempt to take innocent life on UK soil will go either unsanctioned or unpunished.
And time now for sports. An over $500 million sponsorship over the next 7 years was one of the major announcements to be made at the launch of the 2018 ISA Boys and Girls Championships in Kingston today. Jordan Ford tells us more.
The Championships, which is in its 108th staging, has now become one of the most anticipated sporting events of the year. And Grace Kennedy CEO Don Webby has assured the Intersecondary School Sports Association ISA that it will be in good financial standing for years to come, with the announcement of a new multi-million-dollar commitment.
Well, I'm happy to announce, very happy to announce, that after some tough negotiations and my colleague negotiator Whittingham and Little Black and Blue, we have signed a contract, Dr. Small and myself this morning, that's why we're running late, for another 7 years for Grace Kennedy to continue to sponsor China. Another 7 years, right up until 2025. 7 years, 2025. We have made, Grace Kennedy, we have made a commitment of over $4 million US dollars for the life of the sponsorship, and another way over $500 million Jamaican dollars.
In the meantime, no major changes have been made to this year's championships, but ISA President Dr. Walton Small says his association will be looking into a possible shuffling of events to attract more support on the first 2 days.
One thing that we are looking at is really